Welcome to Two Chicks and a Horror Flick, a weekly horror movie review podcast. I'm Tawny Ray.
And I'm Felicia Connor. Subscribe to get new episodes every Wednesday. We dive into trivia, drink a little whiskey, and of course, give our no BS opinions.
Join our Discord server or message us on social media to talk all things scary.
And if you like the show, consider supporting us on Patreon.
You can find all these links on our website, twochicksandahorrorflick.com. Thanks for listening.
Now let's get scared.
Hello and welcome back to our podcast. Today we're going to be talking about Slither to round out our fun theme of the month from 2006. Slither from 2006. So, Felicia, before we get into all that, what are you drinking?
I am drinking water and an orange blossom. You know what? And I opened this orange blossom and I realized right around the rim it says uniquely Arizona. I didn't realize that it was an Arizona beer, but it is really good, and that's what I'm drinking. And I have to say, this is silly and funny. Josh from Horror Movie Crew, he messaged me and he's like, what the hell is a mango fish drink? He's like, it sounds disgusting. And it was the fizzy stick. He thought I said fish.
Fish.
So just to clarify, if I was mumbling, it is fizz sticks. And they're really good.
Not a fish stick. That would be
fish
weird.
Stick drink. What are you drinking?
I have a juice that I've almost drank the rest of, and then I'll be switching to water. But it's called Repair. Pear. Repair.
Ooh, yummy. Clever.
Nice. Yeah, it's got pear, cucumber, spinach, ginger, and mint. I love green juice.
Ooh, me too. I used to make myself green juices. I love them.
I thought about getting a juicer for a long time. And I asked for it for like Christmas, I think 2 years ago. But then I realized it's going to be a pain in the ass to clean all the time. Mm. And I really don't want to deal with that. So I just buy juices from Boise Juice Company, which is great.
Nice.
Yeah. What have you been watching, listening to?
Nothing. I've been working my butt off all week, but I did last night watch 2 episodes, which there's only 2 episodes, of Outer Range. Okay, so it's like Yellowstone, but sci-fi.
Okay. I saw a picture for this on Amazon or something, and I was thinking, oh, everybody's gonna hop on the Yellowstone bandwagon.
Well, I didn't know what to watch, and I saw it, and I'm like, let's just press play. I love aliens. I don't know if that's what it is. I'm not spoiling anything because I have no idea, but it's supernatural-esque. And so Josh Brolin, is that his name? Brolin. I know
that sounds right.
Brolin. He's really good in it. And they have some good actors. Lily Toms. Her first name is Lily. Yeah. Yes.
Or wait. No, I don't know if that's right. I questioned myself as I said it.
Her name's Lily, though, and his name is Brolin. But they're both really good. Everybody's really good in it. I like the way it's filmed. It doesn't look like, I don't know, just a bunch of no-name actors and kind of like basic acting and basic storyline sort of thing. I actually liked it. And, there were some things. I'm still in that phase of I'm not sure. But they only have 2 episodes. And the way the second episode ended made me go, okay, maybe I'll check out the third one, see where this is going. So that's my review on that. How about you?
Interesting. The only thing that we started watching that I recommend, and it's good so far, I like it a lot, is Severance on Apple TV. We didn't have Apple TV until we were like, what do we watch? We're kind of out of things to watch, and I want to watch something good. And so we started watching it. It's got, what's his name? Adam Scott? Does that sound right?
Who?
Adam Scott.
Adam Scott sounds like a right name.
Yeah, he's been in a ton of stuff. And John Turturro, who we were talking about, I think, last episode. Anyway, it's really good so far. It's like a sci-fi thriller, kind of. It's very interesting. It's about... Okay. I'm not going to spoil anything because I think they tell you this right off the bat. This is the premise of the show. Is there are people who undergo this procedure called severing, which is that they're splitting their memories from their work and home life. So they don't remember anything about work when they leave the building, and they don't know anything about their like home life when they're at work. And it's very interesting. I love shit like this. It's kind of a really simple idea that just expands. So it's good. Highly recommend.
This sounds so good. I just looked it up on my phone. It is Adam Scott. Okay. So he's from Parks and Rec. Well, he's from a lot, but he's from that Little Devil movie we watched. Yeah.
Little Evil.
This sounds so interesting.
It's cool. It's definitely giving me like Lost / Loki vibes, because there's kind of this element of like technology that looks old.
Is it like a maybe Black Mirror-esque vibes?
Kind of.
Okay, because I like that. I did try to watch Loki because you liked it so much, and I did think he was an excellent actor and it's clever. I just could not get into it at all.
Okay.
But I did think it was good. Maybe it's just because I don't really even know who Loki is, and
maybe.
I don't know. But I love the idea of this.
You know how they have that technology though that feels very like retro, but it's like futuristic. I don't know if you got that far into it, but
the Loki?
Yeah.
I mean, I know like the technology of like how they would go around time and stuff, and
it's like the company that deals with that. I forgot their name. They have
yes, I know what you're talking about.
And they have the little clock or whatever.
Retro. Yeah, like whole vibe is like it's a retro. Yes, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. And so it feels a little bit like that kind of. I don't know. It just in that way that the technology is like weird and mysterious and feels old, but also like futuristic at the same time. So I don't know. Very good. Anyway, that's the only thing that we've been watching. So
I'm glad you shared that because I think we'll watch that tonight. So we're kind of like, what do we watch? And so that sounds very interesting.
Yeah. And you can do, like, I signed up for a free trial through Apple TV, but we'll probably keep it for a little bit because I thought there was like one other thing. Oh God, people really want us to watch Ted Lasso. And it doesn't seem interesting to me at all. It just doesn't seem up my alley. It's like all sports related and it's a comedy show, which like usually isn't my shit either. But I feel like enough people have been like, you should watch this, that we're probably going to keep Apple TV for a couple months.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I like that guy. I like the guy who plays this character. What's his name? Jason Sudeikis. Yeah. Okay. That could be funny. Oh, good. So we have some new things. Oh, God, we have not used Apple TV in forever.
Oh, really? I've never had it.
I know we have it.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Did I mention this last episode? Or I don't think I did. Maybe you mentioned it to me. Lizzo's.
Yes.
Okay. Because I finally saw it. Yeah, I did mention it. Okay.
I don't remember, actually.
Oh, well, just in case I didn't, I really liked that.
Yeah.
Me and my daughters watched it and I was crying and I was joyful and I was slacking Tawny. Dude, Lizzo is fucking amazing. I love Lizzo. I had no idea. And then I went on social media and followed her. And I got all into it. I
love her.
I love her. I had no idea how much I loved her. I just thought it was just a really heartfelt show, like you're saying.
Yeah. It's very heartwarming. Yeah.
Yeah, it is totally.
Yeah. You mentioning Sudeikis and sounding it out reminded me of something that we need to bring up on this episode, because we discovered after talking about it and doing some research last episode, it is pronounced homage. or homage. And I have been saying homage my entire life. And I was wrong. I've never heard of anybody say it like that. You can either pronounce it, I think, homage or homage. And it blew my mind.
Yes,
it blew my fucking mind.
Bring this up.
Yeah.
I mean, to give you the benefit of the doubt, homage sounds so much more fun.
It does sound very official.
Than homage. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Tawny slacked me and was like, oh my God. And then there was all this stuff about homage.
I know, now it's like hard to
Homage.
say. Homage.
It's a weird word. It doesn't even feel right saying it.
It is a weird word. And the thing that I sent Felicia, it said like, people claim that this is originally like a French word, but it's been used in English since like, what was it, like 1280 or something? The year 1280, something crazy. And so I think their point was like, you don't need to pronounce it with like a French accent or whatever. So,
but if it was originally French, do you need to?
Yeah, why wouldn't
you? You probably should pronounce it because that's something that Americans are always teased about is how they take a word and butcher it, right? It's always like if someone's making fun of an American accent, it's usually butchering a word that should, be pronounced a different way. So maybe we should.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just do it. Let's just say it. Homage. Unless that actually means something different in French. But
yeah, I don't know. I didn't do any more research than that. But just needed to hit that update for everyone. I was like, holy shit.
In case we sent anybody's head spinning.
Yeah. If you wanted to know from our mentioning it for 2 seconds in the last. We actually came back to it a few times because you kept saying it and then I kept saying it. Anyway. Okay, you ready to get into this?
I'm ready.
Okay, so we are talking about Slither from 2006, obviously, which is an American science fiction black comedy horror film written and directed by James Gunn in his directorial debut, which I did not realize.
Oh, it's his first one.
Yeah, and he also has done Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, and he wrote the Belko Experiment, but it seems like he does more writing than he does writing and directing, or just directing, but he's done like a handful of stuff. I just felt like these were the most notable. Yeah. Okay, so for cast, we've got Nathan Fillion as Bill Party, Greg Henry as Jack McCready, who was like the mayor, right? Elizabeth Banks as Starla Grant, Tanya Saulnier as Kylie Strudemeyer, and Michael Rooker as Grant. And also, honorable mention here, the voice of the doctor, you know how in the middle of the movie she calls the doctor?
Yeah.
Is Rob Zombie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
I know,
I was surprised to see the lady from The Office, too.
Oh, yes, I should have written her down.
Forgot her name.
What's her name? Jenna Fisher?
Jenna Fisher, yep.
I do have a little note about her, actually. I'll just say it now. So she was married to Gunn at the time, and she was not originally part of the cast. And the actor in her role begged to be released from his contract because he had an offer to shoot a pilot. So Gunn let him go rather than like keep him on set and him not wanting to be there. Gunn swapped the character's gender and gave her a few more lines. By the time the movie was released, Fisher had become immensely popular from The Office, so she was the one who went on The Tonight Show the night before the film opened.
Wow. Look at how that all figured out and panned out for her. That is so cool.
I know. I thought
she did a really good job, too, in her little tiny thing. It was super cute.
Me too. Yeah. She was like, she really nailed it. I thought it was funny. Okay. So budget was $15 million. Box office was $12.8 million. So it did not do well. But it is kind of like a cult classic. Like people seem to really have a love and appreciation for this movie. It had an 87% on Rotten Tomatoes. 80% of Google users liked this movie, and Letterboxd gave it a 3.3.
Okay. Wow. Those are good scores.
Yeah. Okay, so for 2 minutes with Tawny, I
don't sound too excited. Just joking.
Well, it's not mine. I pulled it from Wikipedia. It was pretty short, so turn back now if you don't want this ruined. And here we go. A meteorite brings a malevolent, sentient, extraterrestrial parasite to Earth. The parasite enters the town of Wheelsy, South Carolina, where it infects wealthy resident Grant by taking over his body and absorbing his mind. With the alien in control of him, Grant begins to transform into a grotesque, tentacled monstrosity. He also abducts and infects a local woman, Brenda, to serve as a breeder for his alien larva. His wife, Starla, becomes suspicious over the changes in his appearance and his behavior, leading to Grant attacking her. When the police arrive to rescue Starla, Grant flees. During their search for Grant, a posse led by Police Chief Bill Party discovers Brenda, whose body has become inhumanly bloated from the larva impregnated inside her. The slug-like larva burst from her body, which infest everyone in the town except Starla, Bill, Mayor Jack McCready, and teenager Kylie Strudemeyer. Those infected by the larvae become a part of a hive mind controlled by Grant, who intends to consume all life forms until only his consciousness remains. However, Grant also retains his love for his wife and seeks to be reunited with her. The survivors deduce that killing Grant will eliminate the rest of the aliens before they are attacked by the infected townspeople. Bill and Kylie escape, but Starla and Jack are captured. Armed with a grenade to kill the monster, Bill and Kylie head to Grant's home, where the infected are being absorbed by the increasingly mutated Grant. Jack and others are turned into breeders for more larvae, while Grant keeps Starla uninfected in the hope of reclaiming her love. After euthanizing Jack at his own request, Bill tries to use the grenade, only for it to fall into a pool when Grant knocks it away. Grant subdues Kylie with a couch and attempts to infect Bill with his tentacles, but Bill manages to attach one of the tentacles to a propane tank. Filled with flammable gas, Grant is shot by Starla and explodes, killing the rest of the aliens in the process. With everyone else in Wheelsy dead, the three survivors head off to seek help. In a post-credits scene, a cat approaches Grant's remains and becomes infected by the alien parasite. I didn't catch this. Did you watch the...
I did not.
Yeah.
I didn't catch this either. And I usually do fast forward when I'm at home to make sure there's no post-credit scene. And I didn't.
Yeah. I'll go back and watch it, but I just didn't get a chance before we were talking.
Okay. So a cat eats one of the worms and the worm is alive. And now, so that beast is still alive within the world.
Yes.
In the cat. Okay.
Yeah. And I was surprised because I thought that's where we were headed. Like, I definitely thought that Bill was going to be infected.
Yeah. Yes.
But they were like, nah, he's fine. So.
Yeah, because he was stabbed. I thought the same thing. And he was like, no, I'm fine. And like, he's not, watch.
Yeah.
He's going to like attack her or something. And no.
It was just very like the other girl too was like, nope, you have to be stabbed by both of those to actually like get impregnated by the larva. And so everybody was like, okay. Like,
we trust that. We trust that science.
Yeah, so that is that. Felicia, you had never seen this, right?
No.
Okay.
No, I had not.
How did you feel about this movie?
All right. So I thought it was fun. I did think it was fun. I didn't have as much fun as when I watched the other movies that we've seen, or when I watched, I mean, honestly, nothing compares for me so far to Dale and Tucker, Tucker and Dale.
I think it's Tucker and Dale versus
always
Evil.
Freaking get this wrong. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. But I did giggle. I liked the acting. Like, they were silly, but intentionally silly. I mean, they did a good job delivering that silliness. It wasn't stupid. It was like, they did a good job. I think they did a good job acting. One of my favorite characters was that mayor. Like, just some of the stuff. I liked the mayor. I thought he was funny. I thought they had some good lines in there that also made me chuckle. So yeah, I thought it was, I enjoyed it. I almost said, I thought it was a good movie, but then I'm like, well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
It was fun. I did realize I would rather watch Inside or Martyrs than movies with blisters and sores and infections. I just realized, and like these things that infect you, it hit me differently. Like, this is a sillyish movie. I mean, it's gross. But you know, but when that thing opened up and in the beginning, when the thing opened up and shot that little bug in him, and it's like, you could hear it going around like in him. I was like, oh my God, that's so gross. And then when he went to get that girl and impregnate her with the larva, and he opened his shirt and there's all the blisters.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like, oh, fuck, Tawny. God, I am never watching anything you suggest again. That was my reaction. God damn it, Tawny. As it went on, those, tentacle things, didn't bother me as much, and I could look at him and stuff. But I just realized those things going inside of you, because they even have that in, like, say, The Matrix or other things where, like, it infects you. It goes in there, and blisters and warts and sores.
Yeah,
are
gross.
more gross to me than having someone's head chainsawed off.
Yeah.
Not in real life. Obviously, I'd way rather have a sore than a head chain. But in movies, for me, it's harder for me to see.
I think I'd agree with that. I think I feel the same way. I would rather watch like violent-y type things rather than like gross out type things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely not like, and this is not horror, but poop, diarrhea, vomit, joke type girl. I don't find it funny. I think it's disgusting.
Yeah, and we definitely like leaned into that a little bit in this movie, right?
Yeah.
So there's like lots of mucus and like spitting, like they're spitting the like weird gross acid stuff. And it's, it's definitely like a gross movie.
It's like the other... Damn it, Steve. The other movie Tawny wanted to watch was like a romance. And then we're watching this.
I know.
But it was fun. It was fun. It was totally fun.
In hindsight, like, I did regret my choice. And I, even before I watched it, I almost thought about messaging you and being like, maybe we should watch something else. But I wasn't sure if you had already watched it, and so I didn't want to change up the plan too last minute. But I was like, and I was like, I'm not sure. It's been a long time. I watched this like once, probably right around the time that it came out, and I haven't seen it since. And so I couldn't remember, really. I remembered like gross scenes and parts to it, but I knew that it was supposed to be like fun and funny, and maybe I just didn't pick up on it. It was fun, like you're saying. Like, it is kind of a fun movie, but it definitely isn't the same vibe as the other two, I feel like. So in hindsight, it was maybe not a great choice thematically.
Oh, I disagree, Tawny. I think you did a good job. I think it does fit within the fun, fun
blanket.
Horror. Yeah, fun horror. What are you going to... It definitely was. It was a different aesthetic as far as gross. We have butchering versus oozing, but it was still comedic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
You did a good job, I think.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I wish I would have picked something else, like maybe Freaky or Happy Death Day, but I think, we've talked about this. I think those fall under a different theme that we're going to maybe hit later a little bit better. So that's why I wanted to like switch it up. I wanted to like go with something a little older and a little like just different. And it was. Yeah. I think I feel the same way. It was fun. I don't think it's like because again, it's kind of this like comedy, but it's not like, I don't know. The comedy wasn't a ton. It really...
No, there was only like moments I laughed, and I was like, oh, that was clever. And I think I jotted some of them down, but it wasn't like constant.
Right. And it wasn't like the setup itself, like, wasn't funny. Whereas I think like you look at something like Tragedy Girls, and the setup itself, obviously it's grim, but it's like funny. You have these two teenage girls who are murdering people to get traffic to their site. That is inherently kind of funny, yes. Like just because it's so wildly unbelievable. I know that like aliens coming down and infecting people and like whatever, that's also, but I feel like that's the basis for like real serious sci-fi horror movies, right? So I think I couldn't, and I think maybe this was my problem watching it the first time, is like I couldn't get out of my head how like actually scary that is. So the comedy I think is less, and it just doesn't like fall in. I have a note on this too. So Fillion recalled Gunn telling him that we are making a funny movie, but we're not making a comedy. So from that point forward, Fillion better understood the tonal balance that he needed to aim for. And that kind of makes sense. Like it isn't even though I described it as it is described on like Wikipedia as a horror comedy, a black horror comedy, I do think it has funny moments, but I don't know. There wasn't as much comedy as I thought there might have been, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so for me, I feel like it was a comedy. I know he's saying it's not, so it doesn't matter that I think it is. But how it came across to me is it was a horror comedy that just didn't have as much funny moments, or some of the funny moments didn't translate very well, and some of them did. So that's interesting. You're saying it wasn't meant to be a comedy, because I mean, it also was not terrible. It was gross, but it was not scary. That him as that thing when it's running away, like
right.
there's like nothing scary. The idea of aliens coming down and infecting, which has been done in scary movies, is scary and can be done very scary. But there was nothing. Even that slug was not scary. It was gross and gooey. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't like, I don't know. I didn't feel scared, for sure.
Yeah. It's like a discomfort. I think I remember being a little freaked out when I watched this the first time, just because the visuals are very gross. Like, but I don't remember. I also don't remember being like scared by it, but I do remember being like, ugh, that's dark. You know, you have like all these dead animals and people mutating. It's definitely like body horror, got body horror aspects to it. And so it is gruesome. And
the dead animals. That's a good point. Yeah, that was, they were everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I had some good lines in there. I have a couple of them down.
Okay.
I liked when the cop said, "Boys, get your guns. We don't want any Lyme disease jumping out at us." Oh, yeah. I thought that whole Lyme disease conversation was hilarious. I thought or it was very funny. Hilarious. I should probably
reserve.
It's like 5-star word. I liked the mayor, just all his little things, just even the way he acted. He was like, oh God, just everything. I thought that he was a good character. I liked when the alien guy, when the wife was saying, for better or for worse. And then he was like, much worse, for much fucking worse. Yeah. Little things like that. That's kind of sarcastic, witty humor. I'm all about that. I love some witty humor. And I thought that was really good. Even when the really big, the bloated woman goes, "Oh man, I didn't want you guys to see me this way." I mean, she's so gross. And he's like, "Let's take her to the hospital." What's going to happen at the hospital? Like those little witty comedic backs and forths. I did. I liked them. They had several of them sprinkled throughout.
I did too. I would say that was probably like some of my favorite moments, like, because they were very funny. The whole Lyme disease conversation was funny. When I wrote down the mayor was like yelling. He's like, I don't remember what he's yelling, but he's like, "Come out, you cocksucker!" And then he like turns to the cop guy and he's like, "Psychology." I thought that was funny.
Yes.
Okay.
See.
Let's see. Oh, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, we got a bunch of aliens coming down and like getting inside people and treating people like skin cars." That was very funny to me too.
Yeah, it's cute. It's like a witty. That was good stuff.
He had some of the best lines. I think between him and Nathan Fillion, they were really like, hitting that witty, funny humor. Like when they're at the end and the people are absorbing into Grant, and he's like, "That is some seriously fucked up shit." I don't know. Just the timing on it was good.
Yes, the timing was so good. I have this note I can picture it in my mind, but I don't think I even knew how to write it down. So it was when the family was trying to attack the girl in the car. Her family was trying to attack them. And the little sisters. I thought those little sisters were funny. And when the cop comes and he says something and one of the little sisters comes, I literally have the little sister dropping the rock. It was a movement she made where she was like, "Oh shit," she dropped this rock. I don't know. It just made me giggle. There's like these little moments that are quick that people are doing, which is why I said I think they did a good job acting, because these moments came through and through their delivery. And I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Those are my notes.
Those are my that's the end. No, those little girls were funny. I liked how they were like creepy. There was a lot mixed in. I'm sorry. Keep going. Whatever you were about to say.
No, go ahead. Because I have a note on it. I can talk about it later.
Okay. I was just going to say, like, there's a lot mixed in. Like, this movie, I feel like, pulls a lot from a lot of different movies because you've kind of got, like, the zombie angle because they're all being controlled. They're, like, being taken over by this parasite. So it's kind of like a sci-fi movie and an alien movie and, like, a zombie movie all in one. But I didn't, like, hate that. Like, I feel like, you know, when we talked about The Taking of Deborah Logan, it was like, we feel like we've seen this movie before. I don't know that I felt that way about this, even though there was many moments where I was like, oh, this reminds me of even, like, Men in Black. Definitely there's, like, a scene that this reminds me of. I think it's the very beginning. Or there's, like, the guy who gets infected by some kind of alien and he starts to transform. So it reminded me of that. Yeah. But
you're absolutely right. I didn't feel like I've seen anything like this before. Maybe I haven't watched enough, like, B horror. Is that what it's called? I'm thinking of, like, the giant slug, the you know, things like that maybe would fit into this, like those old movies. Maybe they're not even old. I don't know anything about that genre, by the way. Those
I
old
don't know
type
much
movies
either.
like that. But so I've never seen anything like that. So I agree with you on that. I was going to say, and this is going to sound weird, so hopefully I can deliver this thought coherently. I don't feel like the alien theme was really developed. I know that he is infected, but it was so much about him and how he was changing in his relationship with her and how all of the people were now parts of him and how they were responding to her. Like, that was funny when they laid her on the bed and they were brushing her hair and stuff like that. Like these little moments. And I was so focused on that I totally even forgot, like, this is an alien infection until the girl in the tub had that slug in her mouth and she started to remember back. Then you have this grand theme of something like from a video game where I don't even know what was going on. I don't even know which was the aliens. I'm assuming I can have this picture of this one that was kind of eating things, but the aliens looked so different than the slug thing. So it was kind of like this whole world. And then, did they take over this world? Now they want to take over Earth, but it was so fast as well. And then we're back into where we are and into this kind of love story with them.
It was very fast, but I do think that was the intent. That's what I got from it, is that this is a parasitic thing that goes to worlds and takes them over. So those aliens were like other life forms that got, you know, consumed or whatever by this alien. And we don't really know what it looks like because it seems to take on the form of whatever it gets inside of. But I kind of have the note on this a little bit. So James Gunn revealed that Grant died as soon as he was infected, but the resulting entity retained much of his personality, including his genuine love for Starla. So he actually is supposed to be dead.
Oh. Okay.
Because he mentions, well, I keep saying he like he is Grant, but it's not. It's basically the alien, but we'll call him Grant for the sake of clarity. But he says, like, I've never experienced love before at some point, right before.
Yeah.
So I think it's like, I don't know if that helps at all, but.
Yeah. That's why when he first was infected, he was so confused. Like, he's looking around and then there she is. And then she says this to him and he has an emotional response and he seems surprised by that. I was trying to figure that out. I'm like, what's happening here? But if he is no longer alive and the alien is within him experiencing these things, that does make more sense. I like that, actually.
Yeah. But I hear what you're saying as far as, like, it does kind of get dropped and, like, forgotten. It doesn't really, like, continue to be a thing throughout the rest of the movie.
Because you really do think, though, very closely after that, that's Grant and Grant is infected.
Yeah.
Versus Grant is dead and the alien is wearing his meat suit.
Right.
Right? And animating him. It's almost like a struggle.
Yeah.
Right? Where Grant is in there.
That's what I thought when I was watching it.
And she's trying to pull him, connect with him, but the alien is pushing him down. That's what it's more like.
Yeah, that's what I felt like, too, because there's moments where he cries and stuff. Like, yeah. But I guess that wasn't the intent. I don't know.
Huh. Okay. I like that idea. So the ending was funny because I was just watching it, and the ending where the three walk out of the house and like everybody in the town is dead and they're like leaving the house. And I was watching it, and TT was in the room, but she was watching her iPad. She was playing something on her iPad, and she was sitting on the sofa with her back to the TV. And she was playing her iPad, but she had turned around and she was watching that. And then she laughed and she goes, oh my gosh, look it, everybody in town's dead. They're the only three left. And she was laughing, and I'm like, it's like, yeah, that's pretty funny, huh? The comedy hit her in that moment.
I guess so.
I bet she would have loved it if I stayed till the end and that cat ate that thing.
Oh, yeah.
She would have thought that was funny.
Got infected.
Maybe she was trying to, now that I say that, because I was laughing throughout it, that maybe she was trying to go, ha ha, yeah, look at that, and like connect with me or something.
Yeah,
sweet.
probably.
My baby's trying to connect with me over horror.
And being like, I'm in on it too.
Yeah, I'm in on it too. That's some funny shit. So I laughed. I laughed too. I was like, yeah.
You're right.
You're right. Good catch.
Yeah. I will say one of the other parts that I really liked is obviously the graphics. I think some definitely don't hold up as well. But some of it is, or a lot of it is practical. Like when he's in the field, I guess they were like puppeteering him. There was like a group of puppeteers, so they just like digitally removed them after the fact. So that was like mostly practical. You know, there is some CGI stuff that I think doesn't hold up as well, but overall, I didn't think it was terrible.
I have to agree with you. Like when I said when he was running out of the field, I didn't think so. It didn't scare me, but it looked good. It looked a little funny, but not funny like I remember. And I really like the Alien movies, but in the first Alien, there is a scene where the mama alien is like moving forward, and it literally looks like the alien is on like a cart. Okay. You know what I mean? Like it looks, you can tell. And nothing looked like that in this movie. Yeah. Like him, he looked a little comedic running out of there with his big bloated body, but it didn't look like what I'm trying to say. What am I trying to say? Like not like fake or like you could tell when it's a doll, for example, like in Pet Sematary. That moment, of course, they don't really want to have to throw a 2-year-old
child
out. Yeah. But when you can just clearly see, and for that moment, it brings you out of this world you're in. I didn't think any of it looked like, I didn't catch it.
Yeah, I didn't either. And I think that's because the practical stuff they did really well. The only stuff that doesn't hold up is some of the CGI. Like I read that James Gunn hates that scene where the slugs are crawling all over them. When they're trying to keep their mouths covered, like he was like, it just does not look good. And I think that doesn't hold up as well. Or like, you know, watching the slug slide around, it looks a little dated, but it doesn't. But again, it doesn't look terrible to me. Like
me neither.
It didn't really bother me. I was just like, cool, this is good. And I feel like the rest of the stuff, like with Grant's body, like the little tentacles and the stuff like in his stomach, like all of that looked really good.
Yeah,
even that guy getting sliced in half.
I'm so glad you brought that up. That was one of my favorite things.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, because he's like, boop, and you see a scratch. And then he's moving his face. And as he moves his face, it's starting to tear a little bit more. And then and then his guts come out. Like it was so good. Like we just saw something, the cube, where he slices and then all falls apart. This was done in a way that I'd never seen before, where he starts to peel apart and you see his insides start coming out because he's peeling apart. Usually when they're cut in half, then the two parts of the body slide apart.
You're
and
right.
fall.
Yeah, it's just solid.
It's like solid and they go, and then they just split. Where this one, no, everything. Yeah, I thought that was really, really great.
That makes sense, doesn't it? Because you're like, organs would just fall out like that.
Yeah, you're not like soldering. As you go, you split in half, soldering everything so it's a nice solid.
Yeah, you're not just like chunks of like frozen meat or something congealed blood. Weird.
So I thought that was great. I liked that. I could remember this of him kind of moving his eyebrows like, what? And every time he moves his eyebrows, the wound tears a little bit more.
Yeah. I liked that. It was really well done. And I also like the tear on her, Brenda, when she's like in the barn and she starts to explode. That was really gross.
Yes, it was.
Ugh, skin tearing.
All of those slugs is a scary idea. These slugs that are going everywhere and they're fast and they're strong. Because that girl that was trying to pull it out of her mouth, she really struggled. Of course, she was like using her fingertips. That was driving me. But I take that back. If you grab a slug like that, she'll slip right out of your hands. So maybe that's why she had her finger like tips dug into it to get a grip of it.
Yeah.
So this is a scary idea, all of these slugs. And when all the slugs were in the room, you know, and coming out, this reminded me of, we're going to have to review this movie. This is something I saw when I was a kid and I was terrified. So anybody that has seen this, put in the comments that you know what I'm talking about. I don't even know what comments because you're listening to this on a podcast. But if you're on YouTube, anywhere, just go, Felicia, Something Wicked This Way Comes. Have you seen this movie? From what I remember, I really liked. I was terrified. So I'm nervous to watch it because what if I don't like it again? But there is a scene where I won't give anything away, but let's just say it was like that with the slugs, but spiders. I just never forget this. We already talked about this. I was watching horror movies when I was real young. My mom was young. We sat together and then I was tortured. I couldn't go to sleep, but I appreciate it. It makes me who I am today. But anyways, that idea, the slugs and going inside of you and you not being able to do anything about it. I thought the sound effects of that thing, once it was in him and he's out and about, oh God, I could physically feel pain. Like when he would go into the front yard and you could just hear going, and he's like, and he's doubled over in pain. I thought that was really good because I could feel it.
Yeah. Going back to the girl with the nails, I liked how that was like a nice little callback that they were like giving her shit for, like the parents were giving her shit for it. And then it came in handy. Like she was the only one to survive because she could grip it and pull it out of her mouth. Yeah.
So good. Oh, that's right. She had nails.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. Okay. That's why she did it that way, because she was like staking it, almost stabbing it.
She had a grip, a nice firm little claw grip on it.
Nice. Okay. So it was fun.
I don't have a lot of notes.
I was wondering. That's all I have on notes about the movie, about my experience.
Okay, I have one more. Just double checking. I have like one more personal note and like one more. A couple more.
Trivias?
Yeah.
Cool.
I do want to say that I think the scariest shot in this whole movie is that extreme close-up of that teenager's foot on the knob, turning the knob off for the bath. I am not a foot person. This was gross.
This was the grossest part of the movie for you.
Cut out this close-up of these toes. Get it out of here.
So Tawny is the opposite of a foot fetish.
Yeah.
A foot phobia.
Yeah, whatever that is. I don't. Feet are gross.
She has a really hard time walking around. Just kidding. Jade, get my socks on. I can't look. Just kidding.
I'm not as grossed out by my own feet, but I am grossed out by my own feet. They're gross. And I don't like anybody else's feet, and I don't want anybody to touch me with their feet. It's just...
feet.
They're
That's
gross.
the worst part of the movie. Everybody beware. Oh, man.
Disgusting.
I really hated when he opened his shirt and he had all those blisters. It's just something about
bad.
These infections. Words like spores and parasite and infection and all of that. Ugh.
Yeah. I think definitely towards the end too, where like there's like these people absorbed in him. That was really grossing me out.
Yeah, it was gross. It was funny too.
Yeah.
Like these people just going, ah, and I think they were supposed to be funny too. Like these naked men.
Yeah.
I missed why they were all naked, but these naked men and they're just like, ah. this big thing is absorbing them. Because they didn't get fully absorbed for like that whole time.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Let's see. I just have a couple more trivia things. Number one, there were a fuck ton. So I'll go through like all of these if you want, but there were a fuck ton of like horror movie references. Just like
ooh, I love that.
Last time, yeah. Yeah, as in Tragedy Girls. So the first one I have is in the opening scene. Oh, wait. So the name of the mayor is based on Kurt Russell's character from The Thing, McCready.
Oh.
Brenda is watching The Toxic Avenger with her baby when Grant comes to her house. In the script, this one's weird. I don't understand why this would connect at all, or like, I don't know. It says in the script, Brenda is the niece of Randy Flagg. Randall Flagg is the bad guy in several Stephen King novels, including The Stand.
Oh.
But I'm like, I don't know how that would be written into the script that would even make sense. I mean, I don't know. I know just a very outline of like who he is based on Paige reading The Stand and telling me a little bit about it. But I'm like, how do you make that connection? I don't know. I just thought that was weird.
Yeah.
The name of the high school is Earl Bassett High, after a character in Tremors.
Oh.
And then you can see Henenlotter's Saddle Lodge Presents Dear Cheer sign, which is a reference to the cult horror writer and director Frank Henenlotter, famed creator of Basket Case and Brain Damage.
Oh.
The alien slug swimming towards Kylie in the bathtub is obviously an homage to Nightmare on Elm Street. But I also read that this is a reference to a key scene in David Cronenberg's 1975 horror Shivers, a film about humans being taken over by parasite alien worms. Same setup. Director James Gunn is on record as saying Shivers was a major influence on his movie. So I haven't seen Shivers, but it is about this, and these people have like, I think they're like beaks or something, and that come out through their armpit.
What?
And that's how they like infect other people. Yeah.
What? Ugh.
Yeah. Very body horror. Or maybe I'm mixing that up with a different one. So Shivers and then I don't remember.
That's what it was. It was Shivers, right? You said?
Shivers, yeah.
Beaks in their armpits. Fuck.
I could be mixing that up.
Shivers by Ed Sheeran.
That's the one.
That's the one. That's what I should be looking at. Oh, Lord. That's all that comes up. Hold on. A movie. Oh, there we go. I see. Shivers movie from 1975.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I see this chick in the bathtub. Ooh, yeah. I see. Worms. Oh,
Worms.
Gosh. Worms. It looks like actually this movie poster I'm looking at, Shivers. The girl's in the bath. The worms are climbing up the bath to go into the bath.
Oh,
like
yeah.
legit. It looks like a Slither movie poster.
Oh, interesting.
But interesting. Oh, that. I don't know. I don't see any beaks in the armpits, but maybe that happened. That's just not.
I might be mixing that up with a different body horror movie.
I don't know why that bothers me so much. Beaks in the armpits really does bother me. It looks like it's all things like going into their mouths, lots of mouths and blood. This dude.
Let me look it up real quick.
Google beaks in armpit horror movie. It's not rabid.
I think I am mixing it up with a rabid. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yep. Here we go. I see the thing coming out of her armpit.
Yeah.
Rabid. Ew. What a gross. You don't like feet? I don't like things coming out of armpits.
Yeah, I think they're both David Cronenberg movies, and I think are similar in the way that they are both body horror. But
Nice.
Yeah. Yep. That's it for me for trivia, though.
That's it for me for thoughts.
Okay. I didn't have a ton of thoughts either. This was one more thing. I did write this down. Were you like, what the fuck is going on with this baby with a tomato?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, I think I talked about that even the most. I was like, look at that, T, look at that. And she's like, what does that baby have? Tomato. The mom just gave it a tomato to gnaw on. And she's like, what? Did you ever give me tomatoes? I'm like, I never gave you a tomato. Maybe I should have. Maybe, I don't know.
What is this?
Maybe she knows something. I don't know. Maybe she can't afford apples, but I think tomatoes are pretty pricey. And I'm like, look at this, Steve. This baby's eating tomatoes.
Everybody, come out here. Come look at this. That's funny. Okay, so sorry, I lied. This is my last piece of trivia because I also was like, what the fuck? But I just was like, sure. I glanced over it, but then reading through the trivia, it said the shot of Brenda's baby in the crib teething on a tomato was originally accompanied by a bit of dialogue explaining why. Brenda says that tomatoes are cheaper than toys and the infant actually softens them up, thereby making them better for cooking, which is gross.
Yes, we're not eating dinner at her house.
Definitely not.
Or if you're going anywhere and they have a baby, then just, make sure they're not making spaghetti or something like that. Okay, because this did cause a lot of attention. I think, so it's not needed in the movie, but it almost is. Because it's very plainly a tomato. Yeah. And it kind of throws you off for a second, like the shell phone in It Follows, except the shell phone had a very, very predominant role in the whole movie. But yeah, we all were like, what?
Yeah, what is
I almost
this?
wanted to Google, is this like good for teething babies? Because it's soft. Like, I really thought about this tomato. Yeah. Like, why not just even if you put an apple, and even though that baby's obviously too young to eat an apple, if it was an apple, I don't think anybody would have, like, whatever. It's hard. It couldn't have gotten pieces out. Maybe it's just chewing on it. I don't know. A tomato is odd.
I was like, a tomato is soft and you could, I mean, if that baby had teeth, which it probably didn't, I guess it was a pretty small baby. And I don't know anything about teeth development in babies, but
I was under the impression that baby did not have teeth.
Okay. But I was like, yeah, couldn't you like break a piece of that off and choke on it? Like, I don't know. I just was like concerned for the baby, obviously. But I imagine that they just had to cut the line and then they must not have been able to cut the shot. So they just fucking left it in and it's like, well.
Yeah, it's so silly. It's almost like if you don't want to talk about the baby softened spaghetti you're making, then maybe just give the baby something different. Or if you want to make a point that she's poor. I did feel that a little bit. I did question. I was like, I wonder if maybe tomatoes are really cheap and that's all she had. Or maybe it was like, oh, mama's got to get some. Grabbed a tomato, flung it in the baby crib, chew on this. I'm going to get down and dirty right next to you here. Eat this thing. But so it was a little bit of that, right? Because she had said it's cheaper and
it's cheaper than a toy.
And they saw interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. There you go. Solved the mystery for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that because I did wonder. Glad you brought that up.
Okay. So before we say if we're ready to rate it, I need to figure out what I'm rating it.
Ditto. Okay. So it's going between two scores. It was either going to be a 2.5 or a 2.75. So I was thinking, because last night when I was going to bed, I was thinking, did I like it? I think maybe I liked it as much as I liked Sleepy Hollow. I think I enjoyed it more than Creep Show. And then I probably liked it as much as The Cube, but it's different, right? Because The Cube, I liked some of the elements in there, which with this one, I liked the comedy. So I'm going to go with the 2.75, I think. Yeah.
Okay. I definitely thought that the alien angle might bump this up for you.
I do love aliens.
You do. I was like, if anything's going to save this, I might be this alien thing for Felicia.
Yes. If aliens come down, they're going to be like, she's good. She's good. She likes us.
She likes us.
Alien stuff.
I'm kind of in that same ballpark. I think I'm going to go a tad higher, though, because I think I liked it more than my 2.75s. Mm-hmm. Like, I gave Dreamcatcher a 2.75, and I just cannot in good conscience give this the same score as that, because I think this is better. So I think I'm going to land at like a 2.9. Yeah, which I have not given to any other movie.
2.9. Nice. You know what's 0.1? It's 0.1 less than Martyrs.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's...
Yeah, no, I think that's great. Yeah, that was hard. It wasn't... So I was looking at my other scores and thinking, wow, 2.75 is close to a 3. But, I mean, I had a good time.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd watch it again. But, I mean, this is like my guest test. Felicia's guest test. I always think this through when I'm thinking about movies. I wouldn't watch it again unless I had a guest over and they're like, I've always wanted to see Slither. Do you want to watch it? I would say, sure. It's not that I would say absolutely not, don't bother. I don't ever want to see that movie again.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go out and try to watch it again.
Yeah. I also, for my 3 test, because my 3 is like, would I recommend, would I say that it's worth a watch? I do think this is worth a watch, but I don't know. I don't think I can give it as a 3, the other ones that I liked more. So.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, watch it, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
Versus don't even waste your time.
Yeah, totally. Because there are movies that you're like, oh God, just don't even. I don't feel that way about this. And it was fun. And it was lighthearted in the way that it wasn't like a, incredibly, deep, trying to have a message. I mean, I think there are messages to be read into here for sure, but I don't think it was, I think it was just fun in that way. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think Trevor specifically is going to have a bone to pick with us on this one.
Oh, he loves this?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Trevor. Sorry, not sorry, though, because this is my voice and I'm going to use it. No, I'm just joking. You can love it. And we didn't hate it.
No.
We had a good time.
Yeah.
Here it is. Can we please do horror romance month? I just want to do I want horror, but romance.
I mean, we can.
Horror romance month at some point.
We came up with a few already. And
I'm going to jot this down. See.
I'm down for it. Okay. We should have done it in February, but
Yeah, we should have, but
sometimes we just follow our hearts, We're like,
it's what we want. Like right now, I feel like romance. Mm-hmm. I feel specifically like horror romance. And I think it's because you introduced all those movies when we were thinking about what we were going to do. And I'm like, oh yeah, I want to see this. And so in February, I didn't feel it.
Yeah, me either.
I didn't feel like some romance. Oh, which is great for my husband because he doesn't have to spend a lot of money on like chocolates and dinner and stuff. Just kidding.
We'll do it soon though.
Yeah, let's do it soon. I'll figure it out a month. See if we could theme it. We're not consistent with our themes, but all I can say is like, don't expect us to be. Don't put us in a box. Yeah. We don't know. We're not good at staying consistent with themes and stuff. But when we feel like doing it, we're going to do it.
Yeah. So when the opportunity presents itself and we feel good about it, we'll do it. But
yeah. And the opportunity isn't actual scheduled calendar things that could be really good themes.
Right.
we tend to shy away from that or not fall into that. It just doesn't.
We need a little more freedom.
We're like freedom. Yeah.
Like you said, we're like, don't put me in a box.
Don't put me in a box. Don't tell me what to do.
Romance horror in February?
Christmas?
No.
Screw that. No, just kidding. Is this the holidays? This is Valentine's? Nah.
Yeah.
It's not. But we'll do that in August. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
We'll celebrate love in August. Oh, gosh. So, everybody, you're going to miss us, I know, and we're going to miss you for the next 2 weeks. We are going to take spring break. Mm-hmm. So just like all the kids partying in Cancun, we're going to do spring break. I'm not going to be partying in Cancun, but So we won't have episodes for the next 2 weeks, but we'll have some stuff posted so you don't totally miss us. And then we're going to be coming back strong in May. Our first episode of May will be The Lighthouse.
Yeah. This has been on the list for quite some time. So that'll be an interesting one.
Yeah. I remember starting it a while ago and then stopping it. I'm excited. I think I'm mainly excited because, like, based on the movies we review, people keep telling me, "Oh, Felicia, I think you're going to like The Lighthouse."
Right. Yes, same for me. And it's like, I think it could be a very divisive movie. It seems like people either are going to really like it or really dislike it, or like maybe not understand it. It just seems weird. So.
Yeah. This movie, I haven't seen trailers or anything. Like I mentioned, I started it, but I'm talking 5 minutes. Like, I don't know. I think they talked to each other a couple times and then I stopped it for whatever reason. So I'm not going to look anything up. I have no idea what this is about besides a lighthouse. That's it.
Yeah, I'm not going to either because I like to go in kind of with, little expectations as possible.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Cool. All right, everyone. Thanks for spending your time with us today, whenever today is for you. You can find us on Instagram at 2chicksandahorrorflick or our website, 2chicksandahorrorflick.com. Whichever you prefer will lead you to everywhere else that you may want to connect with us, including if you would like to buy some badass Two Chicks and a Horror Flick merch. Definitely go check that out. And you can also join our horror community on Discord. We absolutely love it. I love all the people in there. We'd love to connect with you. So check that out. You can check that in Instagram in our link in bio or our website. And what else, Tawny?
If you want to support the show, you can go to our Patreon or give us a like, review, subscribe on whatever podcatcher you're listening to us on. And it helps us if you give us a review. And you can also share us with a friend if you like this podcast. That helps the most. So that's it. And we hope you guys have such a good time over our, very informal spring break. We hope you guys do something fun, too.
I'm literally just chilling, but Tawny's going somewhere, but I'm chilling.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys in a little while, in a couple weeks. So have such a good several nights with no nightmares.